Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar series event sponsored by KPI Partners and DLT Solutions. Today's topic, Analyzing School District Data with Student Information Analytics for Oracle BI, will be led by Mark Joslin from KPI Partners. Mark is the Business Development Director for KPI Partners in the Southeastern and Southern United States. Prior to KPI, Mark was a staff member at Oracle and Hyperion for several years in both technical and business development roles. KPI Partners has developed a pre-packaged student information analytics solution for use on the Oracle Business Intelligence platform. KPI's student information analytics enables any school system to effectively analyze their student information and provides a wide variety of pre-built subject areas, dashboards, reports, and metrics based on different dimensions of student information like test and results information, class schedule information, student attendance, and school performance. I will now hand the presentation over to Mark Joslin, who is located within the state lines of North Carolina. Mark?
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to walk you through, what KPI has developed for student analytics information, and want to take you through a little bit of the agenda of what we're going to be covering today. We're not going to spend too long, but we are going to tell you a little bit about who KPI is, and then our partner within the public sector space of DLT Solutions will also introduce themselves. We team with them quite frequently on various schools, districts, and other government agencies. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the challenges that we keep hearing within, K through 12 and junior colleges and even senior colleges around some of the reporting challenges. And then we're going to drive directly into where Oracle is going with business intelligence, around the BI applications of pre-built, and then also into how we have a pre-built application for student information analytics, and spend most of the time over the next 45 minutes in the actual demo itself rather than PowerPoints. And we will leave quite a bit of time at the end for questions and answers, and because after all, this presentation is about making sure that you have the information you need to move forward rather than us getting through an actual presentation. So a little bit of introductions here. KPI Partners is the largest, most experienced BI services company focused on Oracle and technologies. It's all we do. Oracle BI, data warehousing, ETL. We do have a blended approach of both onshore and offshore capabilities. We provide full education through KPI University on Oracle BI. And we have extensive experience both horizontally across the BI analytics as well as vertical solutions, and including higher ed and K through 12. Some of those customers that we have been involved with over the past few years, are like San Diego Unified School District, K-12, Orange County School, Public Schools, Boston College, State of Louisiana Education, and also a host of other, Fortune 100 companies where we've helped them really drive better business intelligence and reporting out of their transaction systems. I only turn it over to DLT for them to introduce themselves as our mutual partner in this endeavor today.
My name is Louie Wu. I'm the marketing specialist with DLT Solutions. I'm just going to go over a few pointers about who we are and what we do. We were founded in 1991, and we are Oracle's largest reseller and largest government reseller. So we're 100% focused on Oracle products and customers, and we offer their full complete, from sales support to education and consulting services. Next slide. So not only are we the largest reseller for Oracle, we also offer these other products, and we are their reseller to the government. And these are just some of them. If you'd like to see the full list, you can go to our website, website, dlt.com/brands. Next slide. And so this is just reiterating some of the things that we are focused 100% Oracle products, and we have inside sales, and we have a solutions architects. We have a full marketing team that supports the Oracle division, and we also have complementary vendors and Oracle-centric solutions. Next slide. And so these are just some of the primary contract vehicles that we have. Of course, we are a GSA holder. This is not the full list, so if you would like to see the full list, you can go to our website at dlt.com/contracts. And that's who we are. Thanks, Mark. I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you. So school districts today are facing some significant challenges when it comes to their business intelligence needs. Some of those challenges that we hear over and over again as we implement BI for school systems is, in today's economy, it's forever changing. Schools are being asked to do more with less, to be more efficient, to be more accountable, and that demands a greater level of reporting and also analysis, a greater level of being able to see trends before they become, history. Being able to change workforce profiles as needed, and to be able to give a good accountability of where are we spending our staffing dollars? How can we retain the knowledgeable workforce? How can we leverage that, and how can we make sure that that is focused on where our student demographics are going and where the demands are? Increased regulatory oversight is a reoccurring theme that we're hearing every single day working with our education customers. They're being asked more and more of 509 reporting, detail reporting around student profiles, ethnicity, performance, race to the top, no child left behind. All of these programs are saying, show me how you're meeting these objectives. So also this takes being able to get information out of a various number of source systems and report on it. So all of these are focused on a continued improvement in student achievements and making sure that we're matching up our resources to facilitate and enable those student achievements. And this takes truly understanding our current organization, being able to forecast future student demands, needs, and interests with greater accuracy, and becoming more operational, efficient, and effective. So Oracle enables these schools to reach those objectives to become more efficient and effective with an overall approach to business intelligence. At the center of this is a single information model. Now, we understand that there's a lot of different transactional systems going into keeping a school system afloat and operations day by day, being able to do financial reporting, procurement, and spend, also being able to do, scorecarding, strategic planning, and also specifically around industry-specific applications. So Oracle has addressed this with a common foundation platform of Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition 11G. This is Oracle's strategic direction for all of business reporting. Now, if you look across this PowerPoint, we're seeing that it delivers a host of different reporting needs. We realize that not everyone has the same specific requirement. Some want alerts, notifications. Some want to be able to do ad hoc. Some people say, hey, just give this to me in Excel. I need that Office integration. Some are really needed in pixel-perfect production format. The Enterprise Analytic Foundation supports all these different motifs of delivery, but it does it in a single common information platform. So KPI, who has worked with this Oracle BI platform, since it was first conceived, has developed a pre-packaged solution around student information analytics. So what is this? Student Information Analytics, or SIA application, enables reporting based upon students and staff across a number of different selection criteria, being able to slice and dice all of our staffing, all of our students, all of our performance, and all of our key performance indicators by all those standard things that we work with, you know, rolling school years, block school years, student demographics, organizational hierarchies. So it's really focused on improving student performance, teacher performance, school performance, and overall education system performance. So this isn't reporting for reporting's sake. This was built to more effectively manage the entire school process, to be able to show year-over-year improvement, to be able to show not only historical but trending information, and ensure that educators meet their goals in assessment, and also even doing disciplinary incident reporting. So this pre-built application is extremely open. You know, it's built on Oracle's standard BI technology, so you can extend this any way that is necessary. It enables the ability to expand upon the specific metrics, the subject areas or reporting dashboards. So, you know, no one's going to tell you that this is going to be 100% everything you need out of the box, but it's going to get you 90% of the way there. Just like every school system, over 98% of school systems currently run a prepackaged ETL. They don't go build their own from scratch. The same thing with KPI, Student Information Analytics. It'll get you 90% of the way there. Then we tweak it, okay, to make it complete. We have pre-built ETL, including universal adapters to bring information in from other sources, pre-built data model, metadata, and, oh yes, reports and dashboards. So what's the so what? You know, you can spend a couple years to go out and pull data from all these various systems, put it into a data warehouse, and spend a couple $1 million on this project and not have anything for another year or two. Or you could go with a application approach where it has the pre-built content, the pre-built metadata, data warehouse, and ETL, and be able to deliver something in very, very short time periods. Because anyone who's ever lived through a BI project realizes that creating those dashboards and reports, that's the easy part. That's the part above the waterline. But the real work goes into having that pre-built integration, those pre-built metrics, those heterogeneous data source, data warehouse that will provide you that lower cost of ownership, and also best practices. So it gives you that faster time to value so that you're not waiting for years for a data warehouse project that, you know, to get complete, and maybe the requirements change before you even get the data warehouse project. You're not going out there and reinventing the wheel. You know, you're getting a lower cost of ownership and assured business value so that this can be deployed literally in weeks rather than months or years of a build solution. So we have done this based upon best practices. We take input from customers. You know, school systems have sat down with us and said, these are our reporting challenges, and we want you to help us develop systems to meet those. We've done that with a number of various schools. Instead of going out and charging the customer over and over again, what we've done is put a wrapper around what we keep hearing over and over again from customers on their reporting need for school systems. Those customers and others, hopefully some that are on this call, will be part of our customer advisory board that tell us, hey, in the next release, I need this. I need to be able to report on greater level of detail of ethnicity, of background, of heritage, Maybe I need to actually add certain dimensions to my factors. Maybe there's new government statutory reporting that I need to generate. So this is developed based upon customer input so that it gets best practices from the business users. It's also designed to have best practices input from multiple systems. I have yet to find one school system which has standardized on one transaction system and has data in nothing else but that one transaction system. KPI Partners has designed SIA to have multiple adapters to bring information in from multiple sources. And one of the most important things about this is, KPI has designed this to work seamlessly with the other BI applications that Oracle positions. So financial, procurement and spend, HR, all of those applications that provide value to school systems and higher ed that many have adopted. So for example, if you're using PeopleSoft HR and you want pre-built out-of-the-box reporting out of that HR, Oracle has that covered. And this fits directly into that pre-built application framework so that it's seamless, it extends it, it uses the same common dimensions. So this provides a single integrated view of your entire information platform. The old approach to BI, and I hate to date myself, was we would go and write a report which was basically reformatting what was in the transaction system on green bar paper, and the ideal of business intelligence was a magic marker or a highlighter and a ruler. And we would go through page after page of green bar looking for information. Well, we would do that on every single source. The approach is different today. I mean, it's the 21st century. Now we combine that information into a analytic business intelligence warehouse. We now combine that with all the information from the other transaction systems and provide easy slice and dice ad hoc capability across the entire school system. Now, within student analytics, remember this has been developed in conjunction with many school systems. We've developed an encompassing data model. So the purpose of the data, model was to make sure that it was broad enough to cover everything that schools are asking for. Now, is every single metric that you might want to report off of in here or some of the reports exactly what you're going to want to see? No. But it's going to get you 95% of the way there. But every school system has courses. Every school system has departments, subjects, organizations, schools, location, multiple calendars. Every school system that we've ever talked to want to be able to track based upon ethnicity, grade, gender, language proficiency, language preference within proficiency, and also student schedules, year schedules, block schedules, rolling forecast schedules, traditional schedules, disciplinary actions, enrollments, and also staff schedules, which are different from student schedules, and be able to maintain some of the core out-of-the-box metrics. Now, what we've done is taken all of those dimensions, or what we would call buys. I want to look at it by student, by block, by semester. I want to look at it, by grade point average or trends, and put those in easy-to-use subject areas around student period attendance, daily attendance, disciplinary subject areas, grade schedules, staffing counts, student testing, tracking calendars. And even in the student testing, we're bringing in some of the standardized year-end testing and then looking at deviations between student GPA or student marks versus end-of-year testing. How is the delta between those? And also, key performance indicators, which are, adequate year progress, and academic performance indicators, which are some standard metrics based upon reformatting some of those dimensions in a specific way as required from statutory reporting. We're also even looking at subject areas for special programs and extracurricular activities. So today in many school systems, if we are asked to provide reporting of, hey, what's the correlation in students' GPA versus their extracurricular activities? That's really a hard question to answer when so much of the time those are maintained in different source systems, or maybe not in any system at all, but on a spreadsheet. So we are able to provide an integrated platform for that. The real benefit here is it provides faster compliance reporting, allows schools to monitor attendance and disciplinary actions near real time, to make near real-time decisions, to better intervene and facilitate a better outcome in the student's school experience, to provide insight in student information achievement, to analyze trends over time. Most importantly, in today's society, school administrators are being required to be more proactive. Reporting what happened 5 years ago or even last year just doesn't cut it anymore. We're being told from our customers all the time, I must be more proactive on my monitoring, and I can't wait till a problem is huge to address it. I have to be able to address things in a very short window. You know, there's a couple ways of doing that, and you could either build it yourself, or with the pre-built applications, it provides you a faster time to value, lower cost of ownership, and you're also leveraging best practices of what other school systems are doing. So let me switch. I mean, I don't want to bore everyone to death with PowerPoints. So Mr. Johnson, please let me know when your screen refreshes.
Yep, I see it now.
Okay, great. So what I've done is I've logged into Oracle's Enterprise Business Intelligence so that I'm actually brought in by my user ID to my default page, which is adequate yearly progress. So being able to come in, now I see that I have other areas within this framework to look at fixed assets of the school, to look at the financial reporting of the school, to be able to look at HR of the school. So it is part of an overall integrated platform, but we're not going to focus on those other aspects today, but specifically around student analytics reporting, staffing reporting, and what comes out of the box with, you know, student information analytics. So adequate yearly progress is one of the key indicators which is being asked to track, not only at a school level, but also at a department level or even a teacher level, you know, all the way down to a program level. So we're looking at ELA enrollment versus ELA proficiency. We have a number of various ways to slice and dice this based upon what's enrolled, who is tested, being able to look at math enrollment versus math proficiency, you know, and actually then identify the delta between those. We also are being asked to be, you know, have a capability of looking at this not only by various counties, districts, or specific schools within a district, maybe it's campuses within a school organization, or maybe even department. I could also even then provide a drop down here by teacher, okay, or curriculum, so that I could get these same metrics sliced and diced instantly by those other dimensions. So being able to look at our yearly year-over-year performance, being able to look at graduation targets between actual targets. Now, when we talk about our specific targets, those can be self-established by the school, okay, or they can be what we refer to as syndicated data. Now, syndicated data is maybe we're bringing in benchmarks from, you know, state boards, state levels, maybe even federal guidelines of what are our overall targets. special test analytics for students with disability. We've seen a significant focus on providing special services, and within that, how effective are we with those special services? Are we helping those children progress at an adequate pace? You know, and what is the quantifiable means by which we're addressing that? Now, all of this is, you know, completely printable. We can do this in PDF, generated out, pixel-perfect production report writing in a number of various formats. So even though I'm primarily focused here on what we're showing in the dashboard, we have the complete capability of doing that in pixel-perfect production reporting as well. So within the academic performance indicators, some of the common, if you will, buys people are wanting to look at that is, you know, school rank analysis. This is something that's on every web page. How am I doing compared to other schools? How am I doing against my own schools? Maybe there's a, you know, magnet program where I want to track my magnet program benchmarkings against other benchmarks. Report, you know, school performance indicators based upon school years. What is my growth versus my base? You know, so are these programs trending up? Are they trending down? And then also drilling into course analysis. You know, especially within, once you get into high school and junior college, you know, or even higher ed, where we're allowing students to have more choices or even extracurricular activity. What is the participation in those? What is my CST, you know, in these areas? What is my attendance in these areas? How am I slicing and dicing that attendance by ethnicity factors? Also being able to look at, you know, other demographics within that. Being able to do standardized testing and reporting analysis, not just against what have we done, but then being able to slice and dice that of, hey, how are my standard testing doing with students with disabilities, or English as a second language, or people that are in our Gateway program that may have certain challenges, whether it be social or, you know, background, you know, being able to reintegrate into the overall school system, being able to, you know, look at free or reduced meals participation, you know, and how do all of those integrate into the other metrics of our overall student environment. So being able to then look at attendance reporting. We all do attendance reporting, and for most, attendance reporting is a exception list spit out by your ERP system of how many people did you have in attendance today and how many people did you have absent. But really, what we're really concerned is with, you know, was there variation within attendance? Do we see various trends within attendance going from grade to grade to grade? You know, maybe we want to look at, you know, maybe back when I was in school, you had certain latitude with 12th grade attendance versus others that maybe at times would need to be corrected or brought back in. Maybe I need to look at this for from a tabular format and see and drill down into attendance not only by various demographics, but also by either period of the day or even course curriculum or other factors. And maybe I need to drill into that based upon school and or even down to the actual student. So if I look at actual student demographics, maybe I'm looking for trends and exceptions based upon in this workflow, hey, I have a significant increase. I've got an exception list here with these students, percent of attendance is significantly declining. So I have top 10 students with the least amount of attendance. Is this something new? Is this an exception or a trend over time? So I look with this individual, I see that while on certain courses, early in the day, we had nearly perfect attendance till just recently, and there was some sporadic attendance issues, but now I see a significant trend downward. What can we do to intervene? Or I can take that by individual, and I've filtered the data here a little bit to make this a little bit less wieldy. And once again, this is just sample data that's been mocked up, so not all these numbers are going to make sense, but with this person, I see a significant issue of, even though his attendance is up, he's still on my list, but we've had worse attendance in the history. So now I'm seeing an improvement in attendance, but he's still on the list. So being able to drill in on that specific student analysis, being able to take actionable items, we can look at trends of why people were absent. Were they suspended, tardiness versus attendance, field trip, illness, being able to do that by grade, by school, by demographics, by a number of various dimensions or bys. When we start looking at enrollment and being able to drill in on enrollment, maybe we're looking for trends on enrollment in specific extracurricular activities, specific courses, or even at the school level or magnet school level, being able to drill into those top exceptions, see what our student ratio and enrollment matrices are being compiled from, and also being able to look at, academic performance, detailed reporting down to a school or a given subject area, being able to slice and dice this by, even into a pivot scenario where we're looking into, by demographics on a specific region or course or any of my other selection criteria. So moving along, one of the things that we do quite frequently is define metrics or marks based upon how we're doing grading. Now, we chose a common A, B, C, D grading. You're not stuck with this. Those are completely user definable. Maybe we're also including in citizenship, other grading codes. Sample data, we took what, a lot of others are using. So being able to look at trends on grades, all by courses, or, school as a whole, or even to grade, ethnicity, even also down to the teacher. So I can trend out of the box within a couple clicks. Maybe if I've got this report, maybe I want to add teacher as a drop-down or a selection criteria. All of this is completely modifiable. One click, it takes me into this, and then I could literally come down into, staff and just add teacher to this overall report, and, or break it down by grade, student location, disciplinary combinations. Maybe I want to look at a correlation between student disciplinary actions and student actual performance, or even, staffing. So going back to my dashboards, as you see, it's a completely open platform. I also have the capability, some people say, dashboards are nice, but I live in, my Excel. I live in my PowerPoint presentation. This is complete Office integration. Did I click on the wrong thing? There we go. I have complete Office integration so that I literally from, the web can either bring in the data, the reports, the charts directly inside Word, PowerPoint, Excel. And actually, once it's in here, I can literally just hit refresh all, and if I have, a upcoming teacher parents association meeting where I want to share, where the school is trending based upon metrics, where attendance is trending based upon metrics, or if I have a school board meeting, which I'm having to prepare that PowerPoint presentation, it's now as easy as F5. So that I literally can generate that PowerPoint presentation out of my data set with one click. Or even if there's standard reporting or series of briefing books that I need to generate out for my regulatory reporting, I can add any of my reports to a standard briefing book with one click. And then I can schedule that briefing book to run at any given interval. Now, a lot of public sector is using this not only for internal-facing reporting, but external reporting. If you go to New York City's stimulus fund, their external-facing reporting is saying where every spending stimulus fund dollar for New York City, they're using this platform as external facing and integrating that into their website so that all the people in New York City and beyond who want to see where the funding dollars are going can go to that site, slice and dice through that, and also get directed additional information. So within Student Analytics, it has that complete capability as well. You can build that into your school website, your school portal. So in here, we're literally going from Student Analytics out to a school's homepage and then being able to see the reports on that homepage. Also, this isn't just, and I've done a lot of reporting off of metrics, grades, attendance, year-to-date. We also have the capability of bringing in contextual or textual information to do reporting off of as well. Building in action links, building in other contextual information. Being able to do that both on the school and also the staffing level details, being able to provide full drill down capability. So here I have some staffing analysis where maybe I need to publish a list of all people within a specific school area, within a specific school, or even within a specific department within a school, or employee type. So maybe I'm just focused on hourly or staff, or maybe I'm just specific department. So being able to do, and we have hidden some fields here such as employee seniority, employee ranking, employee affiliation, that several schools have leveraged for reporting as well. Also, year-over-year performance trending within teacher performance, as well as analyzing teacher versus student performance in an integrated model. So going back, also one of the areas that we use and can look at based upon either special programs, how are these special programs such as English learning, extended day reading, free and reduced lunch, being able to drill in on those specific programs, see our metrics of those free programs, being able to drill down to the specific people leveraging those programs, or even being able to use the special subject area to track extracurricular activities. Participation on lacrosse is going up, but yet the funding hasn't. Maybe, we need to reevaluate funding on extracurricular activities to make sure that we're not putting money into programs that are not being leveraged. Or, especially within, statutory reporting, a lot of these specially funded projects, gateway programs, extended day reading, special ed, are highly regulated. We need to be able to show year-over-year period performance down to even student year-over-year performance. Within the actual student analytics portion, being able to provide granular level detail on students, or even being able to provide out a student-specific dashboard that could be set up with just their user ID or the parent's user ID, so that they can literally have access to student information, be able to see trends over time. It's a little bit different than when I went to school, and a safety pin that was about the size of, looked about the size of a 5-inch long safety pin where a note was pinned to my shirt. You know, this is the 21st century. We can actually enable that reporting and also distribution of information to the parents if you're so inclined through an external facing, or even being able to do this internally for our own purposes within student-specific dashboards. Now, a lot of this really integrates into the overall programs and overall objectives. So we understand that student analytics is important. We all understand staffing is important, compliance reporting is important, but it's not your only need. You know, we know there's financial reporting, we know there's fixed assets reporting, we know there's, you know, also need the ability to do ad hoc. So if I need to go create any of these myself and drop them into my dashboard, I have that capability. So here are some ad hoc reports that I've created based upon percent proficiencies to where, you know, maybe this is, you know, some of those dashboards were great, but maybe I need to see grade targets versus actual grade rates broken out by school year, and being able to create these and put these in my own dashboard so that I can save them as an administrator of what's important to me. Literally with no programming, no IT request. That's the value of what you're buying when you buy the BI analytics, is all that's pre-built for you, so that I just come in here, drag and drop onto my palette, hit render, and I can have this type of information as an ad hoc subject area. Now, I promised I wasn't going to talk the entire time, so we definitely wanted to leave enough time at the end to address what is important to you. Now, we're going to literally turn it over to an open question and answer period. But before we do that, I want to share with you what one of our success stories has been around this application. So, you know, San Diego Unified School District extended and customized the BI platform for KPI student analytics. So they use this in conjunction with other BI apps to provide a holistic approach to their reporting. The users were every principal and district management across the entire school district. You know, they leveraged the K through 12 student information as part of their overall analytics, with information from not only PeopleSoft, but other student information systems. So we've integrated this with Banner, with other student tracking systems, so that we can provide a holistic view of the 360 view of the student and also teacher. The student information analytics was specifically designed for this vertical to monitor attendance, disciplinary, better insight into student information, and really to analyze trends across multiple criteria. You know, that is so hard to do. If you don't have something like this, you're back to the days of green bar paper, a magic marker, and a ruler without something like student analytics. You know, it becomes nearly impossible to see trends and proactively monitor school goals to achieve, you know, an actual activity of those school goals. So with that, you can contact us through kpipartners.com. You know, you also can contact DLT at either website. We'll be more than happy to help you take a closer look at how student information analytics could be specifically helpful to you and your organization. But now I want to go ahead and turn it back over to the people on the phone and see what questions we have from the audience. Jeremiah?
Thanks, Mark. So at this point in our session, we will open up the forum for any questions from the attendees. Questions can be asked through the chat window located in the GoToWebinar control module. Our first question is, Mark, this is great. But can this be customizable for my school system, or am I bound by the pre-built content?
You are absolutely not bound by the pre-built content. The pre-built content is designed to get you what you need. Many people have found this sufficient out of the box. However, if you have a specific program, maybe you've got a, I think it's a 509 grant, where you're doing specific reporting based upon not only ethnicity, but also family ethnicity. We can extend this model. Maybe there are certain ways that you calculate attendance numbers or attendance percentage. We can tweak this to accommodate that. Or, you know, maybe you're on a new creative calendaring system. Now, this comes with a variety of calendaring systems. We can tweak it for that as well. And all the reports. Think of these reports as a library of information or samples that we then take that report, and maybe we think this report is great, but maybe we want to drop teacher on it. Maybe we want to drop, you know, semester or period or grade on it. Maybe we want to rebrand this with our school logo. So completely extendable to however you want it to look and feel and meet your specific needs. Great question.
Next question. Can this application go against the Banner ERP system?
Absolutely. We've developed this with pre-built adapters into PeopleSoft, which is very prevalent within school systems and higher ed. You know, and most of our customers are using it within that environment. We also have this thing called Universal Adapter. Now, a Universal Adapter is a file format and the pre-built ETL from that predefined file format. So to put it in a different way, we work with you to take a data extract from Banner or whatever other student information you have to load into this model. Now, people will go, well, how can you do that? Well, what we've found after implementing this over and over again, all student systems have students in them. All student information systems have teachers in them. All student information systems have metrics such as grades, such as attendance numbers. We find that the underlying data, maybe the data model is different, but the underlying data is very, very similar across all these systems. So we just work with you to define how we want this data dumped out of those systems, including Banner, and loaded into the common information model of BI apps.
All right, great. Next question. What is a sample timeline for a vanilla implementation of this student analytic package?
We've seen this implementation be brought live in, you know, approximately 12 weeks. You know, if you're using PeopleSoft and we have the predefined adapters to that, we could probably do better than that. If we're doing from third-party system, it may be a little bit longer. But we would love the opportunity to meet with whoever asked that question to give them a more refined answer. But we have seen this brought live in as little as, you know, 12 weeks or less. We've seen some of the other BI apps being brought live in as little as 7 weeks. So that's the value of the pre-built. You know, we've seen proposals and actual projects at school systems where they had a 36-month project to develop a data warehouse, do the ETL, and then, oh yeah, write reports. So they were going back to their school boards and saying, we're going to give you what you're asking for, but you're going to have to wait 3 years for the first report. Well, imagine how well that went over, okay? We can say we can be there in less than 3 months.
Okay, next question. Is this analytic package compatible with OBIEE 11G?
Absolutely. We can leverage this within the 11G framework and have done so. Now, especially the migration utilities, and we've taken all of that on ourselves and put it in an 11G environment.
Okay, next question. Can we customize the dashboard to just have one go button and delay loading the dashboard until a user selects all parameters?
Oh, yeah. It slices, it dices. I mean, that's just however you want to lay out the dashboard. It's completely extendable.
And then Daryl just shot a question at us. Can this be used in 10G?
Yes. It was developed in 10G. We still have it. We also can use it in 10G or 11G.
Okay, I got one last question for you before we run out of time. Eugene asks, I see that you use a snowflake or star schema approach for your time dimension. Is there any advantage for such an approach?
Yes. OBIE works very, very well with a normalized data warehouse that's arranged in appropriate stars. However, we haven't really exposed any of that today. We'd be glad to sit down and work with you through that. But we find that being stars are the most effective means of data warehousing, but that goes back to, Kimball methodology versus Inman.
Great. Thank you, Mark. That concludes the Q&A portion of the event. For an archived recording of this webinar, please visit the KPI Partners YouTube channel in the coming days. For complete detail and registration for all future webinars and workshops, please visit our website at kpipartners.com. Thank you for everyone for joining us on today's webinar, and thank you to DLT Solutions for co-sponsoring. And once again, thank you to Mark for presenting. Take care, everyone.